All right, so in this section, I'm gonna go over Reina's heat. I'll cover her heat mode, heat engages, and her heat moves. I'm also gonna go over what best to do after a heat engager and a heat dash. So, first off, we have her heat engager moves. So down forward 1-4, just a 13 frame mid, puts you into a heat engager, and afterwards gives you a guaranteed hit. Next up, we got forward 3, puts you into heat, and gives you a full combo on heat dash. Next one, Sentai 3, heat engager, and gives you a guaranteed follow-up. The next one is Unsoku 4, and this one gives you a full combo. The other one is from her Heaven's Wrath stance, so Heaven's Wrath 2, puts you into heat, and I can show you, gives you a full combo. I'll show you like the heat combos and stuff like that in the combo section, but for now we're just gonna stick to Reina's heat. And now in heat, she also gets from her, standing 3 I demonstrated earlier. She also gets a heat move from that. But it's a full-on string, 51 damage on hit. It's safe on block at -8. It does a lot of chip damage as well, as you can see. It's a very, very good move. High, mid. The other heat move that Reina has is from her 3+4 string. So 3+4, 4. 54 damage. Also safe on block at -8. Those are all mids. The other heat move she has is from her unblockable. I haven't talked about this move yet, but I'll mention it in a future section. So this is her unblockable that you could charge with forward 3+4, and in heat she gets an extension. So it looks like this. If I put the character to block, it is also safe. Oh my god. There you go. So you could charge it or let go, earlier. But the cool thing about this move is that if you're in heat and you manage to get like the full charge, the second hit will splat for a full combo. So that's very good to know. Her next heat move she gets is from her down 2. So down 2, 1+2, puts you at 5 in Unsoku stance. And I'll just show you. 45 damage on hit, so very, very good. Next one she has is her low heat smash. 35 damage. It is very risky at -17, but it has very good tracking and it's a very good mix from Heaven's Wrath when you're in heat. And it combos as well, so like ground breaks, and activates like the stage hazards. So pretty good move. Also, she has a parry. Let me demonstrate. So this is like an everything parry in her Heaven's Wrath. Cool. The parries, like punches, kicks, elbows. It doesn't parry hop kicks, like aerial moves, but everything else it parries. So I can show you. Alright. Let's go into heat. There you go. And if I stay into, like, if you do like a manual Heaven's Wrath, down 1+2, you could parry strings as well. So let me show you. And maybe let me have Reina do like a little quick string. So for example, what's a good string? Like something like this, right? But yeah, you get the idea. It's hard to demonstrate. But for example, if they do like a successive attack, she parries like the first hit and the second hit when you're in Heaven's Wrath in Heat. But there is counterplay to it. You can get grabbed, so because it is like it is a auto parry. So yeah, but that's just one of the things she has in Heat. And then of course you have your Heat Smash, which puts you into Heaven's Wrath. I forgot to mention this as a Heaven's Wrath transition move at +8. On here, it just knocks down like that. But it also wall breaks. So if there's like a wall break, you get a full combo from that. And so that should cover everything in regards to Reina's Heat engages and Heat moves. So just to touch up on Reina's parry in Heat, since this is important. I'll cover more in like the parry section, but let me demonstrate properly this time what I meant. So if you do like a manual parry, which is back, and any of the grab buttons, she'll do like a manual parry. You will, if you're in Heat, you will parry like strings and stuff like that. And then if, for example, you enter like stance from certain moves, so let me just set this up so it punishes. So for example, let's do right. Okay, so if I'm in Heat and I do like a move that it's like this, and and I'm in Heaven's Wrath, it's an auto parry. If I do like after a Hell Sweep, for example, as well, and if I mash, you parry. So that's basically her auto parry. I'll go more in depth in the parry section, but I just thought I'd throw this in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about what best to do after a Heat engager. A Heat engager is this, which leaves you at +9. One of the best things to do with Reina after +9 in a Heat engager situation is her down 1+2. So her down 1+2 comes out at 15 frames. After this situation, the down 1+2 is uninterruptible. They can't parry. They can't power crush. They can't step. Some characters can parry, like Jin, for example. But you have to be careful. But generally, that's one of your best options after Heat engager. It beats out power crushes. It beats out rage arts. They can't step you. They can't interrupt. Nothing. So it's very, very good to do. And the threat of down 1+2 is there. So if your opponent does respect it, you can do something slower as well. So you can do like a wall running move. So wall running 3. You could do wall running 4, to maintain pressure as well. But those moves are slower. But they're always an option, right? So you could do that. You could even do forward 2 if you think they're gonna mash, for example, into whatever option you want. And the cool thing about this as well is that you could also do her. You could also use like her Mishima tools. So you could do like an electric. You could do like a Hell Sweep, CD3. You can use all her main Waivu options, from Wave Dash. And the cool thing about this is that because the threat of down 1+2 is there, a lot of people will be very hesitant to duck Reina, but you could sneak in a Hell Sweep afterwards, right? And a technique I use when it comes to Heat engages is that you want to buffer. So if you do like an electric or a CD3 or a Hell Sweep, right? You want to buffer it. So the way I do it is while you're in the Heat engager state, you mash forward a bunch of times, and then you do your input. That way, it comes out the fastest possible, and they can't step it or interrupt it, right? So, for example, the electric, depending on how fast your input is, it can come out at 13, 14 frames even, right? So after +9, you get the idea. It's very, very, very fast. And her hell sweep comes out at 16 frames. After +9, it comes out at 6 frames, basically. So, oh, sorry, 7 frames. So it's very good, to throw out and mix your opponent. Another thing you could do in the heat engager, if you want to, you could do like a heat move, for example. Comes out at 18 frames, so after +9 comes out at 9. You wanna chip your opponent, so that's good to do. You could also do grabs to bait people, right? And the cool thing about Reina as well is that she could go. The cool thing about any character in a heat engager state is that you could go into crouch. So if you hold down, you could start mixing your opponent from crouch. And once most people you play against, once they see you in crouch, they will expect the hell sweep. So this is where you could play further minding. So instead of a hell sweep, you could buffer a CD3. If you want, you could go for a hell sweep, from crouch. You could even go for an electric from crouch. Sorry. And what you can also do, this is a little bit of a more advanced technique, but you could crouch cancel into a normal move. So, for example, I can fake a hell sweep, do this, crouch cancel into this, and most often than not, people will expect a hell sweep when you're ducking, and if you crouch cancel in this, you're more likely to hit them, right? But there's a lot of mind games in terms of what Reina can do with her heat engagers. But your best option, I think, by far, if you just want to keep it safe as well, is down to 1+2. Because it's uninterruptible, unsteppable, and gives you some chip. +5 into another mix-up. And depending on how they react, you can adjust to the situation. So, yeah, that's one of the good things. Oh, yeah, and from crouch as well, you do 4-4-2 or like a mid, with like mix-up potential. In a like heat engage state, you could also do like a quick low, like down back 4, for example. What else? Hopefully I'm not missing anything. But yeah, that should cover most of it. I mean, you can do like from a crouch state, you could do 4-4-3. You could do from a crouch state, you can even do a 4-4. If you do forward and then 4-4. So mix that up, with another mid. You can also do something like, let's see, with Reina. You could do down foot one, but like if you want like a really, really quick mid, if you know they're gonna mash, you can also do something like this. Generally, I would stick to down 1+2, her heat moves, her Mishima tools, so like the electric, hell sweep, CD3. Oh, and one good thing to do as well, especially if there's like a ground hazard, on the specific map, you could do CD1 and play mind games off that, or you could do CD13 or CD14, right? So there's a lot of tools you have at your disposal with Reina. In terms of like the heat engager, you have some safe tools that you could do, and you have a lot of mix-up potential as well with like your hell sweep, further mix-ups, and yeah. So you could experiment, with what you want to do. Like I said, while running to maintain pressure as well. If they start respecting you, that's when it works. But keep in mind, if you do like a while running like 3 right here. You can get stepped. It's not guaranteed. So yeah, that should cover most of her like key engager options and what you could do. And the little tech, you know, I mentioned, where if you want to do like a Mishima tools, you could buffer the input. So you just spam forward, 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 and then you do like your electric or your health sweep. That way, it's always consistent and it comes out the fastest. So yeah, so that should cover what to do after a heat engager with Reina. So now, when it comes to heat dashes, just put on standing block. So it looks like this. You're always +5. And with Reina, you have a few good options after this. So one of the best options that she has is 1+2, my opinion. This, as I previously mentioned, this shuts down people stepping, power crushing, down jabbing, rage in even. So this is like a very, very good tool, you know, to shut down people that are trying to counterplay you. But it is -10, so you have to be careful with that. Other thing you could do if you want to keep it more safe, but it's not a frame trap, is back 2. This will catch people stepping. Unfortunately, this will lose to people down jabbing or power crushing, but it's always there. You can also do like her 1-1. This will also shut down people stepping, power crushing, rage in, you know, stuff like that. You could do her forward 2 if people just stay still, which is nice. Forward 2, the fastest input comes out at 13 frames, so after +5 it comes out at 8. But do keep in mind that, you know, this is linear, so it can be stepped. And just like her heat engager tech, you can also buffer her Mishima tools. So you can get an electric that's 11 frames fast. You can also mix people up, you know, with the hell sweep. And what I usually like to do as well, if you know, people try to step either way and they don't like challenge you, for example, is her CD3. A CD3 after +5 is basically homing. They can't step it at all. It tracks to both sides, and it's a very, very powerful mid. Also, you could do some lows that she has. So down back 4 is very good. Tracks to her weak side, but it comes out at 11 frames, so they can interrupt it with a down jab or a regular jab. What else? You can also do like her down forward 1 as well, just to mid check people, but it can get step left if they do that. Doing grabs is good as well, especially against people that are mashing, because I'll get into this later on, but Reina has a really good, like a very solid ground game. So yeah, so for your mid, like a mid that basically does everything for you, but it's -10, is 1+2. It'll shut down anything they try to do. You have your electric, you can hell sweep, continuous pressure. PD3 is amazing after a heat dash. Back 2, of course, to catch people stepping either side. Her jab string is very good. You could do like a single jab, 1-1, 1-2. You could do like a 10, so this becomes a 10 frame mid, down forward 4. Very good to do. Mid, safe, and you know, on a hit you get plus frames. Also, something that's underrated is magic 4, so standing 4. That's very good to do. On plus frames, it does track to her weak side, and you know, if they're at the wall, for example, it's a frame trap as well because it's 13 frames. But after +5, it comes at 8. So at the wall, it will wall splat. If they do like to mash as well, up forward 1, it's a good frame trap because you're +5. So yeah, you have a lot of options with Reina after heat dash. if they do try to step, as a lot of people do, to counter that, you have your homing moves, so back one, standing three, for example, and CD3 is basically homing after +5, and 1+2 is basically homing as well, so they can't step it. So those are just some things you could do after a heat dash with Reina. Quick, because I forgot to mention this, her down 2 as well is very good to use after a heat dash. So for example, if they down jab, because it comes out at 15 frames, it'll come out at 10 frames after a heat dash, and it will trade with people down jabbing or jab doing anything that's like 10 frames. So on trade, it's very good to do. If the opponent disrespects you, you still get a guaranteed follow-up afterwards. And if there's like a stage hazard, it will launch even on trade. So down 2 also very good mid poke to do, but it is linear, so you have to be careful. But yeah, I forgot to mention that one.